Her story represents the best American story. And like many of our best presidents, she was also vice president. That's a joke.
The first night of the Democratic Convention in 2024 was really about handing the baton from the old guard of the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, on to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Good evening, everyone. It is so good to be with everyone this evening in this hall and everyone at home.
Hillary Clinton's speech was very significant because she ran first against Donald Trump in 2016. So it was really important for her to come before the Democratic Party, come before the country and the world, and say that she believes that Harris can do something that Clinton failed to do 8 years ago.
He's mocking her name and her laugh. Sounds familiar. But we have him on the run now. So, no matter what the polls say, we can't let up.
For Clinton in 2016, the glass ceiling, the symbolism of the glass ceiling was a big theme for her, and she brought that up again in her speech on Monday night.
On the other side of that glass ceiling is Kamala Harris raising her hand and taking the oath of office as our 47th President of the United States. My friends, when a barrier falls for one of us, it falls. It falls and clears the way for all of us.
President Biden's speech was actually multiple speeches. Probably the most powerful part of the speech was before he even started talking. There was almost a 5-minute standing ovation from the crowd.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And they were thrilled, quite frankly, that he had decided to pass the baton to Kamala Harris. From the beginning of his speech, it was clear that he did not want to be giving a speech late on a Monday night. He wanted to be giving the big speech on Thursday night accepting the nomination. He was shouting throughout.
Donald Trump promised infrastructure week, every week for 4 years, and he never built a damn thing.
He was listing his accomplishments in the way that someone would list all the things they've done that they haven't gotten any credit for. He rattled off all the things he's done, all the things he's accomplished, all the bills that he passed into law. It was all about him at the beginning.
COVID no longer controls our lives. We've gone from economic crisis to the strongest economy in the entire world. Record 16 million new jobs, record small business growth, record high stock market, record high 401ks, wages up, and inflation down, way down, and continuing to go down.
Then he shifted gears and he started talking about Kamala Harris.
Selecting Kamala was the very first decision I made when I became our nominee. And it was the best decision I made my whole career.
He talked about all the things that she added to his time in the White House and all the contributions she made.
We finally beat Big Pharma. And guess who cast the tie-breaking vote? Vice President, soon-to-be President Kamala Harris.
But the speech was full of flubs. He mispronounced several words. He misread the teleprompter at times. It went on and on a bit. It was not the greatest convention speech in the Democratic Party's history. Probably wasn't even the greatest speech of the night. But it was an important speech, and it felt like he thought that he deserved this speech, given what he's done just in the past few weeks to decide that he's not going to run, that he's going to hand it all off to her and see if she can get across the finish line in a way that millions and millions of Democrats believe that he could not.
I've either been too young to be in the Senate because I wasn't 30 yet, and too old to stay as president. But I hope you know how grateful I am to all of you
Democrats, again and again on Monday, hit on two big themes that we're going to hear a lot about throughout the convention and again in the weeks and weeks to come. And that is how she grew up in the middle class.
In Kamala Harris, we have a chance to elect a president who is for the middle class because she is from the middle class.
And we heard a lot about reproductive rights and abortion and how Democrats believe this is an issue that they can really win on and win independent voters on.
She will fight for every woman and every girl, even those who are not fighting for her.
One thing Democrats do have is a lot of heavy hitters.
We believe that a patient's room is too small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government. That's too many people in the room.
In the words of the great Steph Curry, we can tell Donald Trump, night, night.
There definitely is a sense that it's going to take all of their efforts to get her across the finish line. She would be the first female president in the history of the United States. She's going up against Donald Trump, who remains incredibly popular with his base. There are fissures in the Democratic Party that they can't paper over. And so they're going to give lots of speeches. There's going to be a lot of standing ovations, but we're not sure that the party has quite unified behind her in a way that she's going to need it to in November.